Thank you for being here. This is a time on our planet where we need everybody to be their best. And if you look behind me, you're going to see there are two Rotary Pieces Possible backgrounds. And today I'd like to welcome Arzu. And how do you say your last name, Arzu? I want to make it perfect.
Alpagut.
There you go. Now, Arzu is on my Rotary Action Group for Peace. And you may not know this after 110 podcasts, but I'm Barbara Gahn-Mueller, and I'm your host today. And I am here because I believe peace is possible. I believe that if we have people on Peace Podcast, you too will become the peace our planet needs today. Peace Podcast was started about 10 years ago because we wanted to bring peace, mutually assured survival, and happiness to our world through the mentors that I have the good fortune to meet daily on Rotary Action Group for Peace, to meet in my journey to the grocery store, to meet in my journey of the homeless population in Santa Barbara. Every person I meet has some wisdom to give me. But these podcasts are with the very special people who have worked hard to bring peace into their life, have worked hard, as Arzu has, in Turkey, to bring peace into Turkey. This is not an easy time for her, but this is a time when she brings out the skill set that she has accumulated to bring peace and information and help to those in need. Arzu is a retired telecommunications engineer, a dedicated full-time Rotarian, and I can tell you she is dedicated. She enjoys using her professional skills effectively in Rotary's collaborative projects and services. She believes in the power of peace based on management in team leadership. And I say team leadership. She is a natural born leader, and she's a woman in Rotary who has been there since 2012. That's a long time to be a Rotarian. And her Peacebuilder role in Rotary progressed rapidly from the onset of COVID. And I hope you too are taking advantage of Zoom and advancing your career through after COVID. And she uses digital communication just like I do. Do you know how lucky I am? I don't have to get in a car and drive to Hollywood to do these Hollywood produced. And I have to give a shout out to Tony Morrison. Tony Morrison is my IT man in Hollywood. And those beautiful sounds that you hear every time you get on Peace Podcast, I have to thank him. You know, all these podcasts, I've never thanked him. But let's go back to my darling friend, Arzu. In short, she is a well-established, committed person to peace, both within her district globally, in her district in Turkey, and globally, and with the Rotary Action Group for Peace. She likes to strive to bring the peace gaps in communities, to bridge the peace gaps in communities with awareness of peace language, inner peace projects, and digital facilities. Well, Arzu, all I can say is wow and welcome.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm really happy and honored to be part of your podcast. This is an opportunity also. I look into my inner peace and try to be here with you for an interview. Thank you.
You're so welcome, and you're so accomplished. You know, a lot of women aren't as accomplished because they didn't take those small steps, as you said in our pre-interview. Take those steps, even if you, as Arzu calls them small, I call them giant steps in Rotary. And she's been mentored by other men Rotarian, other women Rotarians. So I want you to listen today especially to how she has progressed in Rotary, because Rotary is an international group with over 35,000, because we're probably at 44,000 now, clubs around the world. So I'm going to ask with something, I'm going to ask Arzu a very simple question. When did you start to recognize that peace was important in your life, or that peace was important for the world?
Well, Barbara, I grew in a peaceful family. However, when I heard Galton's negative and positive peace, I realized that, okay, we did not fight in my family, but the importance of positive peace is so important for progress, for to be creative and to make safety and connection with others. So when I look back, I could say that about my mid-age, we all go through a midlife crisis. That is the time I was living in the UK, and it was 23rd of April. I never forget, 23rd of April is Shakespeare's birthday. I visited Stratford-upon-Avon to experience this memorial of Shakespeare. So the whole day, the town was full of people, local and international people, and we were all quiet and following through Shakespeare's steps. So I had a very special day. And in the morning, the next morning, very early, before the breakfast, I walk in that endless greenery. And Shakespeare's tomb, which was in the church on the other side of Avon, River Avon, suddenly I felt endless, I was content and peaceful, and I felt inner peace. And I said, yes. So, well, I wasn't looking for to be or to have. I didn't feel any material world, but that was it. That was me within that beautiful spiritual environment, and I was content. I didn't need to look for anything, and I felt the inner peace. And since then, I feel that moment in my time as a inner peace, a peace to continue in my life, in my journey. So I should say that it was to get through my midlife crisis. That is the time I met inner peace.
Well, there's always a moment in your life where something bigger than yourself looks at you. And Shakespeare is definitely bigger than both of us. And you were there in that piece with Shakespeare. Think about the words, and you are a wordsmith yourself. You're a brilliant writer. Think about the words that have been studied by millions, billions in Shakespeare. And there you were. And you felt that power of words. You felt the power of peace, but it became an inner peace. So talk about that a little bit. That's what people are searching for, Arzu.
Yes, I was searching. I was trying to be happy, and I was saying that I don't have this. Is this the reason to be happy? But that moment in time, I felt that Shakespeare lived through the same land, the same mornings, that quietness, but we were together with the nature. We were part of, so I felt I was part of the nature, and Shakespeare's sort of the context of Shakespeare lived, I was there. And why don't I share that moment in time? Sort of I felt a connection with the spirit, I should say. And that was it. I should not need for any other search. That was it. I felt so comfortable. It was there, sort of the mindset, I should say. So that was a mindset you could find if you look for it.
I love that. You can find it if you look for it. You're such a mentor. There were three things that popped out at me when you were talking. In nature, so many people have felt the power of peace in the solitude on a walk, walking in nature, in the ability to share that moment. There were three things you said, and you felt so comfortable. So you said you walked nature to share that moment, and the body felt so comfortable with the inner peace you gained. So then you walked out of there. So how did you get into the Rotary Action Group for Peace? And how has that really nurtured you, fulfilled you, felt you were using your talents?
Well, when again, Rotary became my retirement time, become very involved, I should say, because as a woman engineer, and I did work really good international companies in Canada, in USA. That's also gained me cultural expertise. And when you live abroad, you get to know your own culture more because you have reference to compare your own values, like your roots becomes more valuable. So, working in male, I don't want to be discriminating, but male-dominated environments working, I'm not against that. Just there are a lot of rules women doesn't know. So I decided to copy men. So
why not? If they're at the top, why not?
Well, because it's their environment and they're successful. Why should I challenge them? And I am there to be productive in engineering environment. It's better to get to know what it is. So instead of getting into, because you get into conflict, the way you look at could be different. So instead of creating bigger conflicts, trying to understand and make the change within myself. Trying to learn the language of man and language of engineering, like the language of peace. So then I could be in advantageous in some areas because I could put the added value of being a woman. So this is my viewpoint in life.
So how did the Rotary Action Group for World Peace?
Oh, sorry.
You know, all of a sudden, I'm beginning to see Arzu come alive. Do you notice her change? Her energy is higher when she said she began to understand the change within herself and how she could change to meet the challenges she was facing and learn from them. Imagine that, just that phrase alone, learn what I can do to be a partner in this process of whatever we were trying to develop. Is that more or less correct?
Yes, thank you. It's, I mean, we can't change others, but we can change ourselves for the best. For the best. It's not like copying others, but you have to find what is good for you. Then how is, I shouldn't say change because it could be negative, like you don't have any character, you keep changing. It's not. To find your inner peace, you can adapt for the best in the journey.
Right.
So this is the critical thing. So I did attend conventions, 4 international conventions, and I met Rotary Action Group for Peace in through these journeys. And I was very interested. I'm sure I met some of the directors and I became a member of Rotary Action Group for Peace. But the real journey with RAG for Peace started when COVID put us very close in digital world. Then we become connected every week. So I can say that since July 2020, every week, minimum once a week, I connect with RAG directors, and I should thank Alison Sutherland. It was her chair time. She said Turkey hour. Now we start creating a lot of projects, including conferences, international conferences. We had 21,000 people attended, and you were one of our guest speakers. You were one of our guest speakers. So that created a connection, and we become one for peace. And we continued doing a lot of projects, conferences. So the journey and changed my life again. I adapted into okay, I don't want to get into conflict, but you find yourself in conflicts. Then how can I resolve that conflicts? I learned through this journey. I did have some sessions with very dear trainers. I learned about positive and negative peace, all these concepts, and I try to adapt those into my life to become more peace-oriented person, I should say.
That's beautiful. You know, I'm looking at you again, Arzu, and I'm thinking, you and I are not going to go to Melbourne, where the convention is going to be for the International Rotary. And that makes me sad, but it makes me positive when I realize that you are going to be able to speak through the videos that we are making, because this video that you and I are doing, we will be able to present to those who are in our pavilion, the Peace Pavilion in the center of the Friendship Hall. And that's really important to me. And you know, if you want to know more about what the Rotary Action Group for Peace, go to the website Rotary Action Group for Peace and click on join, because when you click on join, you'll see there's many options. For $20 a month, you can become a member of the Rotary Action Group for Peace and be part of the global effort to bring peace and mutually assured survival to the world, to be part of a connection with the international team in Illinois, in Chicago, and then also to get the Rotary magazine. And I don't know if you know about the Rotarian, but the Rotarian magazine is so inspirational. Every month when I get it, somebody in my clique of people who watch these podcasts says, did you read this article in the Rotarian? Because it is so beautiful and it describes exactly who we are. So with that, I'm going to go right back to the Rotary Action Group for Peace having a powerful presence in Melbourne in the Friendship Hall. So what are your thoughts about how we can make Rotary more effective and more of the peaceful journey that we all want to join?
Well, obviously, physical connection is very valuable, because this is how I met RAG. So I do value very much of physical conventions. I wish I could go, but I have a couple of reasons not to attend. However, we should use the digital opportunities to connect. So we are working also to use the digital facilities for whom like us can't visit Melbourne physically, but to connect, to attend digital sessions, to get to know us, and we can get to know them, and also exchanging questions, answers, plus concepts, because peace is a journey. And this journey gets more valuable and colorful when we have more friends with us, because we learn from each other all the time, especially from youth. We are very lucky that we have young Rotaractors working with us. I mean, I should say work, but sort of being with us. We always check with them the understandability of what we are doing, because at the end, okay, we are matured adults, and again, what I think, after certain years of living, we get habits, and these habits could be good or could be deviated, not bad, but deviated from day one. So youth tend to be. We can check with youth how much we deviated from where we started, because we were like them. So youth is extremely important in peace. Again, we are working hard to get the voice of young people in peace arena to be heard, because I feel very easy to get on with them. There are less conflicts with them, and they are open-minded. They like
and they're action oriented. What I have found in my grandchildren, they are so willing to experiment. They're so willing to share their wisdom. They're so willing to be present, and they're so unbiased. The young people today don't carry any of the baggage of bias, and they seem to, I'm just speaking from my own grandchildren and those in my neighborhood who really and truly get the joy of being alive. I see them riding their scooters up and down. I see them playing in the old-fashioned way. I see them doing let's pretend. Now, you go to Rotary and you'll see the most action you've ever seen from the Rotaracts and from the Rotarians who are under 40. They are busy helping Rotary become an international symbol for peace. Recently, if you look behind Arzu, you'll see Rotary and you'll see the action peace wheel. When I was talking to a very good friend of mine, my mentor, I said, well, you know, sometimes I feel like Rotary goes too slow. She said, look how long it took for us to invent the wheel. But what happened after the wheel was invented? What happened to everything, every possible thing that we use today? The wheel had a part of it. That's the Rotary wheel, she said. Watch, it may have taken us over 100 years to get where we are today, but this Rotary wheel, once people understand that it turns in the direction of peace, and we can turn from war and physical pain to peace with the Rotary wheel. That's my dream. And I'm going to let Arzu have the final word today. You have heard some mighty powerful wisdom today from Arzu because she's lived in Rotary for over 10 years. She knows what Rotary can do. She sees its potential, and she wants to be part of that. She wants to be part of the dream of Paul Harris to bring peace to our planet. She wants to be part of the dream of Antonio Guterres, our Secretary General, to bring peace to our planet. And it comes through each of us, not just the Rotary people, but all of us, all of you who are listening today. Arzu, give us a final word. If you had a dream for our planet, what would it be?
Oh, well, planet, we are in a big journey. I really love to have unconditional love, which I call peace, with every living creature, even maybe not living creature, even rocks and everything, the earth. We have to have sort of, you know, connected. Safety is extremely important, but we have to provide safety to others in our journey. So these are the concepts I learned in my involvement with RAG, giving safety to others and getting connected with them and having fun in this journey of life peacefully.
That's so beautiful. Arzu, I know we have the Rotary Action Group for Peace website. Is there another website or an email that you'd like to give us if people want to really spend some more time with you? You're pretty exciting, and they probably want to say, wait a minute, I didn't get enough of Arzu. What would they do to get more information about you? I know you're on our board of directors at the Rotary Action Group for Peace. Would that be the best way to connect with you?
That would be the best. And my email is available, I'm sure. I mean, I use email. I have social media accounts, but honestly, I'm more focused on, because I like to be focusing on moving on this mission. We have a important mission. So that would be the best way to connect through Rotary Action Group for Peace. Thank you.
I love that. And her background as a retired telecommunications engineer has really been a blessing to the Rotary Action Group, the social media committee, and all of the other things she's involved with. And you know, technology is here to help us. You know, really and truly pay attention and try to connect with us at the Rotary Action Group for Peace. We have our website, and we also have our YouTube channel, and I too have a YouTube channel. So with that, I thank you, Arzu. I thank you for being a dedicated woman to a future of our world that works for all. You know, she's in a very tough position right now. She's in Turkey. And if you've been watching the news, you know that they had a devastating earthquake. And many people are going to need the wisdom that she is carrying with her. Do you still have the Turkey Hour every week, Arzu?
Oh, yes. We, in fact, adapted Empathy and Resilience Hour. We are connecting directly with the earthquake sufferers.
It's 18 hours.
Providing them psychological with Dr. Vicky Radel. She's leading the session. And yesterday we had a very effective hour, which also will create new Rotary projects, presumably, because this is a long journey. This is a long journey.
And what day of the week is the turkey hour?
It is every Thursday, 7 p.m. Istanbul time. Now, in Turkey, we do not change our clock to daylight saving. So the reference is 7 p.m. Istanbul time. And we really look forward to seeing friends, giving comfort and digitally connect to who needs empathy, I should say. So this is an empathy and resilience hour, and resilience will come eventually. At the moment, we were very affected from yesterday, but again, this is some help we would like to share with the earthquake suffered people.
Thank you so much. Yesterday, I was able to get on to the turkey hour, and I realized that it was 9 o'clock my time, so that you realize that there's a big difference in time. But 9 o'clock my time is when I'm at my best. So I got on and talked to this beautiful group of people who were assembled, and it's open to anyone who would like to join us. Now, if you want more information about Arzur, if you want more about the turkey hour, and that hour is for peace, resilience, and just paying attention to what is needed now. So I'm Barbara Gahn-Mueller, and I am so, so grateful you joined us. You can find Arzu on Spotify after this. This will probably go up early next week, so you can be there and you can pay attention to what Arzu has offered as a way to move through Rotary in a way that takes advantage of your skill set and your talents, in a way that you can be part of something larger than yourself. That's why I'm a Rotarian, because I feel like being in a group of people larger than just who I am in Santa Barbara, California, I can be more effective and I can reach more people. So with that, I say thank you for joining peacepodcast.org. Go to peacepodcast.org and like us. Go to our Facebook page and join our Peace Podcast community. Weekly, we send out a newsletter. Arzu will be featured in the next newsletter. It goes to all of our people who have signed up to be part of the Peace Podcast community. And with that, I thank you for joining us. What a pleasure I have had today to have Arzu in my Zoom. What a gift. Use Zoom to connect with others. And Arzu said this, it's very valuable to be in person, but when you can't, go on Zoom. Actually, when she was at a convention, that's when she decided to join the Rotary Action Group for Peace. Think about that. A convention is an important part. And if you're going to Melbourne, go to the Friendship Center and see the Rotary Action Group for Peace display in the middle. With that, I say thank you. Thank you, Arzu.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you.
It was absolutely the little or the large, you said small step. It's a big step forward for women in Rotary, and it's a very big step for peace on the planet. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us. Until next week, I say peace begins with me and starts with the conversation. And I bless each of you for trying to be the peace other people need.